Good morning, good morning. Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm not going to be on here long, but I just came on here to say something. I guess by now, everybody who sees this will hear, has heard about what happened in Chicago, where the mother, a pregnant mother, and her two kids, she was walking her two kids home from from school, and they were attacked by a bunch of eighth graders. And the mother was beaten up and knocked. She's pregnant. She was beaten up and knocked to the ground by a young 13-year-old girl and a bunch of kids. And now the mothers is going out, and it's just crazy. And these kids are supposedly kids, you know, that don't have no home training, so they say, you know, that they don't have no home training. That's what everybody's saying about them. But anyway, you know, I'm listening to all of this. It is a shame, but you know, these children now, this generation of children now is the generation of children who were born addicted to crack, whose mothers were on crack and who smoked crack while they were pregnant with them. And they had these babies, and the doctors at the time had never experienced it because these children were having severe withdrawals when they were born. And they had said that no one knew what the real effect on these children were going to be. They had to wait until they become adults. And these are the children. These are the children. They are the children of crack addicted mothers, of teenage mothers who were, excuse me, who were babies themselves, who didn't didn't have anybody to look after them. Didn't have it. They didn't have that. So they they basically raised them. These are the mothers who go up to the school, who want to fight the teachers, who, you know, don't want nobody to say nothing to their babies. It's not like when most of us were growing up. We had people, we would be out in the street, and if somebody who knew us saw us, they would stop us from doing what we were doing. And they would go and tell our mother, call or go to the house and tell your mother what you're doing, bring you back. They don't have this no more because their mothers and fathers are teenagers, are young themselves. They are the babies of of they are the babies of the babies that had children at a young age. They don't know how to be parents. They don't. They really don't know how to be parents. So if, you know, I mean, it doesn't make it right, but I understand it. These children and these little children, they they little young YBs and YNs, and they, you know, their parents think everything they do is cute. Oh, you know, as soon as they turn 18, oh, you're grown, this, that, and the other, you know. So that's it. That's it. And this is the problem we're going to have. For those who are coming into my chat, please like and subscribe to my channel. A news flash, formerly Things Worth Knowing, at BIGGIRL_72 if you like this content that you're going to hear. So, you know, these kids that did that, they need to be taken out of those homes, put in juvenile detention until the 13-year-old, put her in a juvenile detention center until she's until she's 21. She assaulted an adult. When I was coming up, we wouldn't dare assault an adult. We would dare talk back to an adult, you know. We didn't do none of that. Whatever the adult told us, if we got caught, we were like, oh, we were scared she was going to tell the mother. And most of them did tell your mother. Most of them tore you behind up, too. So it works both ways. But these children, all of those children need to be taken out those homes because there's something definitely wrong with kids who would walk up to hit a grown woman. But I will say this, there are people that would not care that those children were babies. Babies. They would have grabbed the one that punched her. And I guarantee you, if this lady had grabbed that little girl that punched her in the face and gave her a beat down, I mean, gave her a beat down, all those kids would have backed up and would have thought twice, you know. But it's crazy. I can understand. And the bad part about the whole thing they did to the lady has sickle cell anemia, and getting beat up and hurt up is the worst thing that could happen to her, you know. So people need to, I don't know. People just need to stop them. Just take them out the home and put them away for a while. Take them, and they'll be able to go to school, get some like psychological counseling, because they definitely need something. Because something is lacking in all of them homes. And I saw a picture of the little girl who did the apology with her mother. The mother, I knew by the pose, she's a young girl herself. They look like sisters instead of mother and daughters. They look like three sisters, but that's neither here nor there. But that's just my opinion. They need to be taken out the home, and the little 13-year-old need to stay away from her mother for a while, at least until she's about 16, before they even think of letting her go. Because they can hold her up until she's 21 to see if she changes her attitude, because that's trouble. That's trouble. You need to get them and get them the help they need and get to them before they get grown, because once they turn 18 and do something like that, that's a felony charge. You're going to get a charge on you, you know, that's going to last forever. So it's best to get these kids while they're young, because there is something definitely wrong in their households. Yes, it is, to pick up kids, because that little girl, those kids are going to do, if they're left alone and no treatment is given and no consequences, they are going to do something to the wrong individual. And they are going to end up either dead or in a prison, an adult prison, for a long time. Because that's not normal for 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds to go jumping on a woman, a grown woman. I don't know who they thought this woman was. They laughed at her shoes. They laughed at her because she was skinny. They picked at her son, and they did too. I went through that when my sister and I both went through that picking, because where we lived at, we were different. The kids said we were different. We weren't allowed to hang out. My mother always kept us, kept us around. She always, when we did go out, we went out with my father, my grandmother, or my aunties, or something like that. And we came from a big family, so we didn't mess with too many people. And anyway, so we got picked at. My poor sister, she was afraid to tell because she's older than me. But I used to get jumped and all of that. But every time they bothered me, I told it. I told them, and my mother dealt with it. But it was so bad. My mother took me out of public school and put me in Catholic school to get me away from that, you know. So That's what they need to do with them in there. But man, people need to do better. Black folks, we got to do better with our kids. You know, and that thing about, oh, I'm a single parent, I got 3 or 4 kids. No, you got to have control of your kids. Oh, excuse me. One thing I've learned, and I learned from listening to older people, and I remember seeing Miss Mary Thomas, Isaiah Thomas's mother, Isaiah Thomas, the basketball player. She's they asked her how did she all her kids went to college but one. She lost one to the prison, and she said you can't be a mother and be hanging at the bars and drinking. Yeah, and that's the way I was when I was raising my son by myself. He gave me hell, but I kept him under control as the best I could. I did what I could, and people talked about me, but you can't be your kid's friend. You gotta make them. You gotta be a parent. And Dr. Phil said one time, if you have teenage kids and your kids never get mad at you, guess what? You ain't you ain't doing something right, and that's the truth. If your kids don't, if you got teenagers and they never get mad at you, huh? You ain't doing nothing right. 'Cause mine stayed mad at me all the time. He just got so he ain't mad with me, and he a grown man with 4 kids of his own. And he just getting so he ain't mad with some of the things I did. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Newsflash formerly, Things Worth Knowing at BIGGIRL 72. Okay, so I'm going to write some more on this. I'm going to be following that case real good. I'm going to see what's going on with it. And I'll be back. Y'all have a good day. I'm going to see. Okay?